Hello, I'm Annie, the Scribe of Sirkles, and you'll notice me calling this script Sirkles Circles quite frequently, and that is because I've been commercially using this script for a long time, and I wanted to brand and market myself in the script as Circles as opposed to Gallifreyan because I didn't want to infringe on any BBC IP, and as I was making money from this, I definitely didn't want to step on any toes there. So this here is my single largest collection of work online, which is on my DeviantArt, which I started back in 2012 is when I started this DeviantArt page. And if we scroll down, we can see my recent designs from about a year ago, 2 years ago, 3 years ago. This is about when I became a full-time scribe in this sort of era. No, this was still full-time work. I remember these designs continuing down, continuing down. Oh, I've done so many. Here-ish, yes, here-ish is when I set up the full-time gig in my Etsy shop. And then these were commissions I'd been doing through Lauren's site and the guide, which not all of those made it on DeviantArt. Another site I want to show you is my Etsy. This is where I have moved most of my online presence. If you wish to contact me, the best way is actually through Etsy. So if you go to my Etsy homepage, there is a contact button right here. You can click that. And this is where I'll eventually direct you, no matter what, if I end up doing custom work for you. So here's some of my listings and items. You can see there will always be this custom transcription listing where I manage my commissions, and then continuing through, I have a variety of items that I can produce with my laser engraver, printers, and vinyl cutters. And then you can also browse my many glowing reviews. Last but not least, I want to show you my personal website. This is a hub of most of my more important links. For example, this takes you to my Etsy shop, which we just came from, as well as features my store. Yes, I have a building. I sell art in person at Billy Creek Village in Indiana. It's only open during the non-winter months because I am migratory, and I also travel to lots of conventions. In fact, I hit about 2 conventions every month. And that convention schedule is at the bottom here, so you can see my schedule through these links. Thank you, and I'm excited to show you the other people that are huge pillars of this community, so please continue watching.
Hi, I'm Impronoucabl. I'm a digital artist and programmer, best known in the community for creating the unfurled Sherman's Gallifreyan font. I made it so that others could pick up the language easier, although it was quite an educational project for me as well. I first started almost 11 years ago. I found the script quite elegant and beautiful. I'd heard of the show, but never associated it with a script until my first major work, a haiku about 5 years later. A few years after that, I decided to teach myself Python, building an English to Gallifreyan translator app. It's no longer available on the Play Store, but I have plans for a sequel. I also do traditional Inkscape Gallifreyan, although I'm often assisted by a modified version of my translator. This lets me quickly prototype out arbitrary texts, often for fun jokes. I do not typically do commissions, but you can find me on Discord. I'm always open to digital collaboration, especially if it goes beyond a still image. Cheers.
Hi everyone, I am Mightyfrong and have been part of the Gallifreyan community for over 6 years now. I have randomly stumbled upon this beautiful cipher on the internet, as one does, and was pretty much immediately hooked. So, of course, my first project needed to be something big, so I did this. Yeah, lots of spelling mistakes in this one. Since then, I've been trying a lot of different things with styles and colors and trying to incorporate Gallifreyan in a lot of different projects and in a lot of different ways. Around 4 years ago, I started this wonderful project, the Gallifreyan Translation Helper. A nice tool to get a quick impression on how many dots and lines you need. and also to have a base to plan your complicated and big pieces on. At this point, a big thanks to Error Online 1 and Modus R for contributing a lot of the code. We're supporting 15 different Gallifreyan writing systems now, and the project wouldn't have come this far without them. Also around that time, I started modding for the Gallifreyan subreddit, and when the Discord started, my duties also carried over to there. So if you have any problems on those platforms, you can reach out. If you like my art, I do commissions. You can just find me on my social media. That's Instagram, Discord, GitHub, and of course, Reddit, where I do most of my Gallifreyan stuff. And also, if you post something there on the subreddit, there's a big chance a spell check or not, so will come from me.
Hello, I am the Error Online 1. Like always, I have been late to the party by submitting my first work on November 13th, 2019, with a few errors, but willing to improve. Since then, I had over 2,000 contributions to the community sub on Reddit, with spell checks, comments, and posts combined. I'm surely not one of the top talented artists of the community, but nonetheless excited when it comes to the topic, porting it to different mediums, even at my real-life profession. You can find a small and incomplete collection on one of my personal websites and everything else on Reddit. Speaking of websites, I love programming. Back in 2020, I did my first simple translation script. And this has been the start of my fair share of contributions to Mightyfrong's well-known translator. There are plenty of more suitable community members to pick up commissions, but to this day I am always happy to consider myself a circular scribe and help with spell checks.
Hi, I'm JustGallifreyanThings, a Gallifreyan writer and artist who's been active online for more than a decade. I primarily specialize in circular Gallifreyan, but I'm also an expert in Doctor's Cot Gallifreyan. I started learning Gallifreyan sometime in 2013, and I made my first post online in April 2014, when I shared a BBC Sherlock-themed poster that I'd painted for a friend on Tumblr. I posted this under an old username, but as you can see in the tags of the Tumblr post, I've been using the handle JustGallifreyanThings basically since the start. It's a play on the whole just girly things trend of the early 2010s. I always planned to find a cooler name, but 10 years later, here we are. Scrolling through my Tumblr gives a good sense of the type of artwork that I create, but I've also curated a few of my favorite pieces to show. Here are some shorter pieces that I've done. Here are a couple of longer ones. Here are a few that you might have seen floating around online since they're my most well-known works. My hallmark is a sort of fine-line minimalist style with emphasis on concentricity, alignment, and negative space. I'm one of the most active scribes on Tumblr and Instagram with about 1,000 followers across both platforms, and generally speaking, I'm also one of the most experienced scribes in the world. I've been involved in the community and in conversations about the script for years. Just to give you a sense, I've been here since before the letter C gained commonplace usage. These days, I mostly work in the digital space, and I'm also an experienced tattoo designer, having designed several dozen over the years. Here are a handful. I've also done my fair share of physical artwork. I've painted posters, I've made cross-stitch patches and embroidery patterns, I have stickers available for sale on my Etsy, and I've collaborated with other crafters in the past as well to engrave Gallifreyan onto physical and handmade products. I actively take commissions, and I am always happy to provide spell checks for your own work. Whether you're looking for your next tattoo, you want to collaborate to add Gallifreyan flair to your own arts and handiwork, or if you just want someone to bounce ideas off of, I'm your scribe. The best way to reach out to me is by email, justgallifreyanthings@gmail.com. But I'm also pretty active on Tumblr and Instagram, where my handle is @justgallifreyanthings. I've also got an Etsy store, gallifreyanthings.etsy.com, where I sell physical crafts and digital file downloads. And to be honest, I'm always up for trying something new. So if you think there's room for me and my art in your next project, don't hesitate to send me a message.
Hello everyone, my name is legofanatikeren, Lego in my daily interactions, and besides being an engineer, I'm a Gallifreyan artist. This means I write regular text using various user-created circular ciphers, which makes even simple words and sentences look very artistic, complex, or even both. Since the start of 2021, when I started learning circular Gallifreyan, I've dived deep into the various Gallifreyan systems, starting off with Shermans, as 99% of all Gallifreyan artists do, but then branching off into various other systems since, as you can see here. Today I use a variety of scripts and systems depending on what aesthetics and features I need, with some projects being small and minimalistic, while others are vast and epic and complex, way beyond the usual artwork you typically see in Gallifreyan. Now, at the time of this recording, I've made over 80 public projects in Sherman Gallifreyan and over 130 projects total, found on both my YouTube channel and on the Discord community. And although 80 projects doesn't sound like a lot, most of these are actually complex multi-sentence texts or longer phrases. And not to brag, but I do believe I've made some of the most complex large-scale Sherman artwork on the planet at this point. And keep in mind, there's a lot of very good artists around the world, many of whom I interact with daily in our Discord community. And hey, now all these beautiful handcrafted pieces of artwork made in Sherman Circular Gallifreyan are apparently canon, since in October 2024, the BBC released a basic online translator app that uses Sherman as their official Gallifreyan language. I guess that makes me a legit Time Lord. Cool. I'm also, to the best of my knowledge, one of the foremost experts in a lot of obscure older Circular Gallifreyan scripts, and competent in over 14 systems at the time of this video, so I know what I'm talking about. When I'm not busy with my next project, I'm often found on a Discord server. Like a lot of fellow artists, I've assisted with spell checks and constructive feedback for over 3 years now, in any system the artist required, probably several hundred times over, giving advice on readability, framework, and how to exercise your creative freedoms within the boundaries of the rules of each system, and teaching others how to write Circular Gallifreyan in vector-based programs. Now, over on my YouTube channel, you can see behind the scenes footage of my public projects with my own live commentary. You can experience a variety of different fan-made Gallifreyan scripts, and you can see them in use, including the script the BBC has claimed to be the official Gallifreyan system. And you can find tutorials for how to use vector programs to write your very own Circular Gallifreyan. Or you can come join our Discord server and hang out with me and other very talented people. I hope you found this little introduction helpful, and I'll see you.
Hello there, I am Alistair, also known as SheepBeard, and I am a Gallifreyan scribe based in the United Kingdom. Since I joined this community in 2023, you're most likely to find me on the r/Gallifreyan subreddit, helping others to learn this beautiful language, or you might have seen some of my work, where I try and push the limits of what you can really do with Circular Gallifreyan. Yes, that is a readable Gallifreyan shirt which I designed and made. My current project is designing a series of Gallifreyan anagrams, words and phrases that can still be read meaningfully when you rotate them, flip them, and generally move them around a bit. I'm always more than happy to chat Gallifreyan with anybody, be you a beginner or more experienced. And you can find me on Twitter, Reddit, and Blue Sky as SheepBeard, or you can send me an email to sheepbeardstower@gmail.com. Until then, happy Gallifreyaning and keep scribing. Cheerio.
Hello, my name is Ivy Hanover, but I'm also known across various platforms under the name ProtagonistIvy. I'm a Gallifreyan scribe specializing in Lauren Sherman's now canon script, but I am learning others. I've included some examples of my favorite pieces that I've created using this script, including some variations on the 15th Doctor Sonic Screwdriver quote and other quotes, titles, and more. A recent favorite, which is more simple, is my simple wood-burnt live, laugh, love sign. Though I've been writing in Gallifreyan for a long time, I properly joined the community in April of 2024 and have been gradually becoming more involved, including introducing and explaining the script to the Doctor Who fan communities on Twitter and YouTube. I can help with spell checks, and I am also more than happy to introduce newcomers to the script and to the community, as well as help with custom transcriptions. I can be found on Twitter and YouTube under the name @ProtagonistIvy and on other important sites using the following handles. My commissions and more can be found on Redbubble, Ko-Fi, and soon to be Etsy under that same name, ProtagonistIvy. Thank you for your time and for checking out the Gallifreyan community.